Yes.
Now, see DBMS concepts. We should know what is data. Data means known facts, okay, that have an implicit meaning and it's been recorded. And database means it's an organized collection of related data. Okay, it is stored on disk, and many users parallelly they can access the data. And DBMS means it's a set of programs that manage any number of databases. So Prathamesh, it started downloading, no?
Yes, ma'am, it's downloading.
Okay. So all the three,
But
all your, yeah.
it's very slow.
That's okay, but that depends on your system. How much processor speed, RAM speed. So maybe after 1 hour or 1.5 hours, it might get
Yes, ma'am.
completed. Yeah, it depends. So the database system means the DBMS software together with the data. We call that as the database system. Sometimes the applications are also included. And what is the DBMS responsible for? Means for accessing data. So you're able to select the records and view it, or you can insert, update, and delete the data, or security. For security purpose, we can go. Then backup and recovery we can use. So backup means what? One more location we are maintaining the data. Okay, we are copying the data and placing it some other location. Because if in the original location, if the original data is lost, then we can get it from the other location. Okay, so security, our data should not get be hacked by someone else. And recovery means the lost data I want to retrieve again. Okay, so that is what is recovery. Then integrity means accuracy should be there in the data, and consistency should be there. Okay, then availability. So even if one
Ma'am, I
machine
have
is,
one question.
yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, database is equal to cloud computing, like is both term is equal, cloud computing and database?
um, More or less equal, but normally database we refer to the on-premise one, where in the data center we used to maintain the database. No, in our place we used to maintain. We call it as database. The same database can be maintained in the cloud also, by like some other person will be maintaining our database. So there are two options we have nowadays. So previously we used to maintain our own database in our data center, whereas nowadays we are maintaining our database in some other cloud. Some other people will maintain in their own data center. For example, Oracle Cloud means Oracle in their own data center, we can maintain our data, and we can pay for it, how much data it is. Like when we are topping up our prepaid charge we are doing, no, for our mobile, like that per monthly basis, or depends on the resources how much you are using. Accordingly you can be paid, you can pay it to them. Okay, accordingly they will maintain our database in their own place. That is called cloud. In our own place, when we maintain, we call that as the normal on-premise database, we'll say. But in the cloud, when we want to maintain, then that is a different one, where we are not maintaining, we are not doing it, but the maintenance is done in that place. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So that is what integrity means, like accuracy and consistency is maintained here. And availability means if one node is, for database, we are maintaining one server, and that data is not available, like if due to some reasons it is not available, means we can go with some duplicate node. Okay, so that you call it as availability. And performance, so performance means the query response time should be very less. Okay, if I want to retrieve the records, when we type in, say for example amazon.in, I'm typing the username and password, and if I have to wait for 1 minute or 2 minutes, I'll be fed up, right? So I want, as soon as I give the user ID and password, I should be able to log in. That is what you call it as performance. Okay. And here we have like two types of approach we have to maintain our data. So for example, in Excel or Word, or Notepad we used to store our data. We used to type some text in the Notepad or in the Word or in the Excel. We used to maintain our data, or else in database level we can maintain. Okay, so these things we should know as of now. Next one, we just go to here. RDBMS we should know. So RDBMS means relational data model. Okay, so like data and relations are stored in the form of tables. So tables are accessed via primary keys, foreign keys, indexes. All these are the keys normally we use to access our data. And RDBMS provides atomicity. Atomicity means like the transactions are either completely full or no effect at all. So what do you mean by this? Means like I can do the transaction complete successfully as we draw money from the ATM. Okay, either it is completely full or it will say as transaction declined, right? So it won't be able to do, means it will throw error. It won't do partially. Either it will completely do, or even in GPay also. Either you can do it completely successful, or else it will throw error, some error, like your bank servers are not responding, like that, some error. Okay, that you call it as atomicity. Next one is RDBMS provides concurrency. So concurrency means parallelly you can do, which means multiple users accessing the same group of resources. Okay, like such as tables, rows, and all. Like multiple users accessing the same tables or same rows. Okay. So how the database market share is, means like it's 48%, it is dominated by Oracle. Okay. Whereas IBM occupies some 31% and Microsoft DB2 12% and remaining by other vendors. Okay. And we have the language which we are using is, you call it as structured query language. SQL is structured query language, we'll say. And user interface with RDBMS in SQL. Okay. It is a standard interactive and programming language. What it is used for? Querying and modifying data. Okay. And managing databases we are using. And what are the DBA tasks? Normally what is expected as a DBA means like installing and upgrading database software and application tools. Okay, we can install the database software or we can upgrade it from one version to another. Or we can allocate system storage and plan future allocation. Means like system storage, how much storage we want to we want to store. Okay, like in the hard disk how much we want to store, or future allocation how much, maybe after 1 month or after 6 months how many users might come. So accordingly I have to increase the CPU speed, or I want to increase the memory speed, or I want to increase the disk speed, like that we have to allocate. And creating database and its storage parameters, so I can create the database and the corresponding parameters also I can use. And creating database structures, objects, users, and granting privileges. So I can create the tables, okay, where I can store the records and any other objects we have. And users we created in Linux level, right? User add U1, like that. Similarly, database users also we can create. And we can grant permissions to those users. So which type of permissions? Like read, write, execute permissions we can give. Like U1 has permission. What permission U1 can have on that particular table? U1 can read that table or write into the table or read from the table, like that. The permissions the users can grant. Okay. Like we should know, if he is a project manager as a DBA, I should know what privilege, what permission I can give to that user. maybe I can give, if he's a project manager, just he's going to read or execute the scripts. He's not going to write any code. Okay. If it is a team leader, maybe I can give write and execute permissions I can give. And if he is a developer, means everything he's going to do, right? Like reading the code or writing the code or executing the code, everything is done by that particular developer. So I can grant the privilege, right? So it depends on the role. We have to create the privilege and grant them. So next one is set up database security and auditing. So how we are maintaining the security for the database and auditing, how we are doing, whether table level auditing we are doing. So this table can be accessed by which user, like that we have to refer. And auditing users also. So how we are auditing the user level auditing, whether this user can access what table, like that. And set up database backup and recovery when required. So we can set up like a backup and recovery we can use. And which type of, yeah, tell me, Jonas. Do you have any doubts? Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, if user have any permission like read, write, and execute, all the permission user have, but when we are working through the like developer and management another team, when we are working through the group, the manager, sorry, the user also, I think it is give all the permission to the groups because the developer although they need it, so
Like
the
it
user
depends on
maybe.
the role we will decide the group. See, if it is a developer group, means everyone will be developers only. So under developer group, some 5 users are there, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, means all the users will be giving the corresponding privileges. In the group level also, we have seen, no, like in the Linux, we have like which type of file can be accessed by which, whether owner or group. Like that, here also we have like Oracle. Oracle is a user which belongs to O install group. Means that Oracle user will be doing only installation work. The other user, maybe installation work is done by this user, means only that part we will be giving the permission. Means O install only will be will be assigning that user under that group based on the role. If that O install group,
Okay, but for
yeah.
but for developer, it may be required all the permission
Yes,
like
yes,
read,
that's what
write,
I
and
said.
execute.
Yes, that depends on the file. Which file they are working, only those files they will be given those permissions, not all the files.
Okay,
See, DBA will have the permissions, all the permissions on all the files, but developers will, DBA only has to decide. So which file is being worked by which developer. So which permission, what permission I can give. Accordingly, we have to decide.
it is totally different from Linux
Yes,
database.
yes. Yeah. Linux is operating system. On top of the operating system, we are installing the Oracle software. So as a Linux, normally developers and all, they won't have any privilege on the OS level. So directly they will log in into the database and they will work in that level, in that layer.
Okay.
Okay. So if the permission is given by the root user, normally root user, they won't give, they are separate people. They are OS level admins will be separate. So they won't have any, they won't be giving permission for the DBAs or developers to work on the OS level. So whatever the thing, if any file is corrupted also, we have to tell them only. Even if we are Oracle DBA, we won't have the permission to work as a root user. So you have to tell them, see, this file is corrupted in the OS level, some files are corrupted. I want to retain, I want to recover those files back. Like that, you have to tell them. So they will take care. They will recover those files and give us. So we won't have any permission in OS level. Only the user ID and password they'll be giving in the Oracle level if you are a DBA. So DBA has to give the other users username and password. They will create and they will give for the developers. So developers, they have to depend on the DBS. Then the DBS have to depend on these people, these root users, like this. Okay. So your role is completely different. So set up database monitoring. So monitoring the database and database optimization and performance tuning. So how we are optimizing? Optimizing means what? With minimum resources, how we are accessing maximum result, or response time, how we are minimizing, like that. Within less response time, have to give good results. Okay. And performance tuning. Performance tuning means what? Improving the performance. And maintaining database and implementing high availability. So I have to maintain the database, and high availability means what? The other nodes. If one node is repaired or it got corrupted, means one more node should be there. Okay, so that is what high availability means. Okay, that is not relying on single point of contact. Some other nodes we are maintaining in the database level or in the machine level as well. So these are the DBA tasks. So Oracle 11G new features, these are. Just as of now, we'll skip this because we don't have any idea now. So this is the architecture. Okay, Oracle architecture. So Oracle architecture means you should know that Oracle server is there, and inside Oracle server we have two components. One is Oracle instance and Oracle database. Okay. Oracle instance contains two components again, that is memory structures and background processes. And memory structures again contains two components, that is SGA and PGA. Okay. And here Oracle database contains three files, that is data files, control files, and redo log files. Okay. So this one you should know, guys. That is Oracle server contains Oracle instance and Oracle database. And Oracle instance contains two components, that is memory structures and background processes. And memory structures, two types of memory structures are there. One is SGA and another one is PGA. And here data files, control files, and redo log files. Three files are there under Oracle database. Okay. So these three files you should know. So I'll be sharing this PPT with you so that you can study. This slide is very important. Okay, you can study this. And then we will move to this commands. I'll share you both the files, this DBMS concepts as well as this one. Here, see these commands. As of now, theory you learn before installation, because anyways it might take some more time, right? So DDL commands you should know. These are all the commands which we are using as a normally as a DBA you should know. So DDL commands means data definition language. Then DML commands means data manipulation language. And DRL commands means data retrieval language. And DCL means data control language. And TCL means transaction control language. Okay. So these are all the types of commands we have, like 5 commands. Okay. So study this. Some 2 minutes you take and read this. So done, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so DDL means data definition language. DML means data manipulation language. DRL means data retrieval language. And DCL means data control language. And TCL means transaction control language. Okay, so we'll see what these are. See, normally what will happen is like when we have the commands, like I want to create a table. Okay, some table I want to create and I want to insert some records into it. Okay, like this, some records I want to insert into the table. Means this creating the table will fall under this DDL. Okay, like data definition language, it falls under. Okay, what you will do, you will create the table, right? And what else you will do, you will create the table, and in the table, inside the table, it will contain column and row. Okay, so a table is there, and it contains columns. Okay, and some rows it has. So rows we call it as records. Okay, see for example, employee table is there. Okay, so employee table might contain what are all the columns it might have. Employee ID it might have, employee name it might have, right? Salary it might have. So these are the columns we will say. Okay, employee ID, employee name, then the so employee table contains employee ID, employee name, then salary. Okay, like this. These are all the three columns. And here employee ID, say for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. And employee name, you can say employee name, for example, A. Okay, some salary, like this. And then employee name, and then employee name here. Okay, like this. And then someone is unmuted, please put in mute. See the name, and here, see like this. Okay, like this. So this employee ID, employee name, and salary are the columns. Okay, and here rows. First row contains what? One is the employee ID, and employee name is 5 years, and 50,000 is the salary. Okay, similarly, second row you can see employee ID is 2, and employee name is this one, and 60,000 is the salary. Okay, and here this is the third record, this is the fourth record, and this is the fifth record. Like this it goes. Okay, so this is how the employee table is made of. Table is made of columns and records, rows. Okay, so this is first row, and this is second row. Like this we have 5 rows here. So rows and columns form a table. So here how many columns we have?
3.
3 columns. Okay, employee ID, name and salary, 3 columns we have, and 5 records we have, right? So this DDL commands contain creating the tables. Okay, so creating the tables, and apart from create, we can alter as well. Alter means what? See, one more column I want to add to the table. Okay, this is the structure we will say. When we see the columns, we call that as the structure. Okay, here we can, I want to add one more column, means add a column or drop a column or rename a column like this. Okay, so these are all the things we used to give for alter. Okay, create means for creating tables. For creating tables, we use this thing. Okay, then next one is drop. So drop command means I want to drop the table, just remove the table. Okay, so create, alter, drop. These are all the commands we will use under this DDL. Okay, so create for creating the tables. Alter means I can add a column or drop a column or rename a column, or I can drop the table as well, or I can modify also. Modify means what? Say I want to increase the width. For example, salary, I have given some 5 digits. Okay, maybe after 1 year, I want to increase one more space for the 6 digits I want to give. Means this width I would have allocated 5 spaces. Okay, I want to increase one more space, means for that this modify clause is used. Okay, modify a columns width. So this is how we used to do with alter, right? And drop table, you can drop the table. So now we'll see how to do this. See, the data types. Data types means, see, employee name means name I'm not going to give in number. Okay, some characters I have to give, isn't it? Some string. So some A, B, C, D only I'm going to give char. So we have two types of character data types here. We call it as char, varchar. Okay, and then varchar2. Okay, normally varchar2 we are using. Char and varchar2 we are using. Okay, here in the character data types here. So char and varchar2 we can use. Okay, these are the two data types. And number, when we want to use, like number, I can use both integer as well as the real. Okay, integer and decimal part. Decimal I can give, that is float. Either I can give under number. Okay, so salary means number only I'm going to give, like 50,000 dot some 50 paise or something like that we used to give, no, some paise dot. So that one also we can use in the number. Okay, so when I want to create the table, here you can see the other data types, like long. Long means long integers I want to give, means I can go with long. Or date I want to give, date of joining, date of birth, like that I want to give, means date I can give. Okay, so these commands like create, alter, drop, truncate. So truncate means what? So here truncate means removing the records. Okay, see, the columns will be there, only the records will be removed. We call that as truncate. Okay, the columns will be there, but the records only will be removed. So that you call it as truncate. Okay, can you follow, guys? Any doubts you have?
Yes, ma'am.
So the table name here, these are the columns and these are the rows, and these are the data types. And DDL commands means you can create the table. Okay, so how to create the table? See, this is the syntax: create table, table name. Okay, open parenthesis. You give what is the column name you give. and what data type it is, whether it is number or varchar 2. So ID normally number we used to give. So number. Then S name, we can give us varchar 2 of how many characters you want to give. Name, maybe 20 characters. We can give like this. Okay. So create table, table name. Then student ID, student name. Like this you can give. If I want to, after creating the table, I want to check the structure of the table. Means you can give like this. Like describe structure of the table. So describe EMP. Like this you can give. So it will show only the structure. Like what is the employee ID, employee name, salary. Like this it will show us. Okay. Now next one is alter. So as of now, you just study this and come. Tomorrow after doing the installation, we will do this. Okay. So alter the table name, we saw that we can add
Ma'am,
a
varchar
column.
2.
Yeah. Yeah, we will see the difference between varchar 2 and char. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see. Yeah, tell me.
Yes, that only, ma'am.
See, char means like static data type. Like when we are giving 50 characters means first itself it will allocate 50. Okay, but while I'm inserting the records, I'm giving only 10 characters. Means the remaining 40 characters is waste here in case of char. But varchar 2, whenever I'm inserting the records, at that time only it will allocate the space. Okay, so we'll see it elaborately tomorrow. Okay, so now you just alter means this command is used to add a column. We can add a column or we can rename a column or we can modify the column. Modify means I said no, either you can increase the width or you can reduce the width if you have not inserted any value record, and you can drop the column. Okay, what you can do, you can add a column or you can rename a column or you can increase or decrease the width, increase the width normally. Okay, and we can, if you want, you can drop a column. So all these can be done using this alter command. So alter table, table name, add off, then you give the columns like this. Okay, so till this let's wind up because much you'll be confused. Okay,